Alright, hello. With almost 100 years of history, the Looney Tunes has amassed a huge array of characters. Some of the silliest, wackiest and daffiest creations ever seen on film. With such a long and successful history, some characters will have been forgotten about over time. Some will have been overshadowed by more popular characters, and others were only ever intended to appear in 1 or 2 cartoons. I thought I'd shine a light on some of those often forgotten characters. So don't expect to see Bugs Bunny, Daffy Duck or Sylvester on this list. Also, it is worth noting, some of these cartoons and characters I'll be discussing are from a different time, so some sensitive topics will come up. However, it is important to preserve the history of cartoons and to realise that times were different when these were made. These are not in any specific order or ranking. There is also many more that could have been included, so let me know which ones I may have missed. With that being said, here are 10 Looney Tune characters time forgot.
Amazing.
I'm a chicken hawk and I never even seen a chicken. Well, I'm gonna get my first chicken today and that's that.
Henery is a chicken hawk. Only problem is, he doesn't really know what a chicken is. His overconfidence leads to him wanting to hunt down the fabled creature. Throughout the history of his appearances, he is predominantly paired with the Barnyard Dog and Foghorn Leghorn. Initially the star of these cartoons, it soon became apparent he was being overshadowed by the loudmouth rooster.
You gotta keep your eye on the ball! Eyeball! I almost had a gag, son. Joke, that is.
Over time, Foghorn would become the star, whereas Henery drifted into becoming a secondary character, before slowly being phased out. His first appearance was in 1942's The Squawking Hawk, where rather than battling with Foghorn, he is trying to rustle up some chickens from the local chicken coop. A character with huge potential, a wisecracking tough guy with a small stature. He would soon get more cartoons, his most famous being 1946's Walkie Talkie Hawkie, which would go on to be nominated by the Academy. Without Henery, we'd have no Foggy, so for that, we are forever grateful.
I'm a chicken. Rooster, that is.
Don't give me that. You're not a chicken.
What am I then, boy?
You're a loudmouth snook.
There lived 3 bears. Papa Bear, Mama Bear, and Baby Bear.
The 3 bears are surprisingly 3 bears, made up of Papa Bear, Mama Bear, and Junior Bear, intended to be a take on the classic fairy tale Goldilocks and the 3 Bears. First appearing in 1944's Bugs Bunny and the 3 Bears, where Bugs takes over the role of Goldilocks as the bears only had carrots to make carrot soup. Each bear has their own personality. Papa Bear is as short-tempered as his stature, often hitting Junior, getting frustrated at his wife, and is also usually up to some kind of scheme.
Remember the story of the 3 bears? Well, why can't we do the same thing? But when Goldilocks goes upstairs to sleep, wham!
Mama Bear is softly spoken, nervous and bashful. She would often try to warn Papa Bear only not to be listened to. She's clearly in an unhappy marriage, as shown by her falling for Bugs as soon as he pays her the smallest compliment. Junior Bear is the classic stupid character. He is well-meaning but very dim-witted, often causing harm to come to his father unintentionally. The 3 Bears were some of Chuck Jones' earliest attempts at making funny cartoons, after starting off by mostly making Disney-esque shorts. With Chuck Jones being my favourite of the Looney Tunes directors, it's clear why I have a fondness for this dysfunctional family of bears.
Somebody's been sleeping in my bed, and here he has still been sleeping in my bed.
Claude is one of many cat characters in the Looney Tunes universe. He has gone through a lot of different designs over the years, making it harder to pinpoint which cats are actually meant to be Claude. More often than not, he appears alongside Hubie and Bertie, a pair of mice who take advantage of Claude's anxious personality, often tricking the Moggy into believing all kinds of mistruths, such as a bulldog being a mouse, or turning his world upside down by nailing all of the furniture to the ceiling. And in his most famous cartoon, the hypochondriac cat, they even managed to convince him that he has passed away and needs to find cat heaven.
So long, Claude. Yeah. Happy landings.
Farewell, you poor earthly creatures.
However, with the more popular chase cartoons being cat and mice, proving popular with rival studios, with the Tom and Jerry cartoons, the idea of an anxious, nervous cat being tormented by mice would not last. A more antagonistic version of Claude appears in later cartoons, where he battles against bulldogs and frisky puppies. Only appear in one Golden Age short, similar to that of Al Jolson, a jazz singing owl who starred in the critically acclaimed short I Love to Singer. Michigan is also a musically talented animal, appearing in the star role of One Froggy Evening, a cartoon which has been preserved by the Library of Congress in the National Film Registry, only one of 4 Looney Tunes shorts to have that honour. In the short, our froggy friend is found inside a box and instantly breaks into song. The man who discovers him realises he could become rich, as people would flock to see a singing frog. Only problem is, Michigan will only sing and dance when he is alone with the man. Every other time he is silent and acts just like a normal frog, eventually driving the man insane as he loses more and more money trying to get people to come to see his talented frog, only for them to be disappointed. He ditches the frog inside a construction site, only for it to be discovered in the distant future, which at the time was 2056. So don't worry, just 33 more years until Michigan is free again.
Hello, my baby. Hello, my honey. Hello, my ragtime gal. Send me a kiss by wire. Baby, my heart's on fire.
Nobody here. Must have been a nightmare. What the? It's a boy. A boy in a tuxedo.
Playboy Penguin is a silent baby penguin who appeared alongside Bugs Bunny in 2 Golden Age cartoons. Usually having to be protected by Bugs, this little fella first appears in 1949's Frigid Hair. After Bugs mistakenly ends up in the South Pole, he comes across a little penguin who he rescues from an Inuit hunter. He then later appears in 1950's 8-Ball Bunny, where Bugs tries to get Playboy back to his home in the South Pole. Along the way they come across numerous hazards and adventures.
I leave you alone for a few minutes and what happens? You end up on the menu.
Playboy was named in the cartoon by Bugs due to his top hat and bow tie, and because penguins appear like they are wearing tuxedos. He can manipulate people with his ability to cry ice cubes. I mean, look at his face. Could you say no to that?
Huh? What's this? Hoboken? Oh, I'm dying again!
Come on, Charlie, let's have fun. Get the stick and work up an appetite. That's a good dog.
Always looking for a new home, Charlie is a homeless stray that is in need of a new owner, usually forced himself upon strangers to try to get them to adopt him. It does end up clear why he hasn't found anyone willing to take him in, as his personality drives everyone up the wall. Most often appearing alongside Porky Pig, he starred in 5 Golden Age cartoons in the late 40s and early 50s. He doesn't realise it's his personality that is driving people away.
Big soulful eyes routine. Gets him every time. Well, nearly every time.
Usually Dog is meant to be man's best friend, but nobody wants a friend like Charlie. He is the type of friend to invite himself into your house, cause a ruckus, and then get your neighbour to beat you up.
Hiya there, Jocko. Aye, and it's bro good to be back.
Bosko was the original Looney Tunes star, with origins that go back to the 1920s. A design that would not be acceptable now was commonplace back then, as the minstrel shows were very popular. All Bosko shorts are from the black and white era of Looney Tunes, whereas both Daffy Duck and Porky Pig are still popular to this day and also originated in the black and white cartoons. Bosko is a relic of the past, with the last Bosko short being in 1933. Almost all of his shorts were about music, often turning everyday objects into musical instruments. As these were early days of animation, a lot of Bosko cartoons don't tend to have much plot, mostly put an emphasis on the music and the crazy animations to entertain people. It's clear why he is no longer used in modern Looney Tunes media, but was still a very important part of the Looney Tunes history.
What have you got in your hand? Give it to me this instant. Now I have seen everything.
Whereas most dog and cat duos in cartoons chase and beat each other up, this couple are different. Marc Anthony adopts Pussyfoot after she is not scared of him whatsoever. Her ability to be the cutest kitten leads to him adopting her, even if it causes him pain when she claws his fur as she settles down to sleep on him. Seriously, why do cats do this? Just sit down and get comfy already. He will protect his kitten at all costs, hiding her away from his owners, as he is scared they will take her away from him. He becomes distraught when he thinks she has been turned into cookies, and he also tries to teach her to catch mice in order to be kept in the household. They don't exclusively appear alongside each other though, with a couple of cartoons where they appear with other dog and cat characters, such as in Cheese Chasers, which is Marc Anthony's debut, although without his personality fully developed, and Pussyfoot appears alongside Hector the Bulldog and Claude in 1958's Cat Feud. When designing Pussyfoot, Chuck Jones wanted to try to make her the most adorable kitten possible, and I think it's clear he did a great job.
I think we should start storing our nuts before the first snowfall.
Ooh, that's a capital suggestion. Simply capital.
The Goofy Gophers are a couple of well-spoken gophers, known as Mac and Tosh, always speaking politely to one another, making sure to let the other one go first. In their earlier appearances, they are pitted against an unnamed dog, who would be a candidate for this list. However, he is so obscure, he was never named, or even has a Wikipedia page, which is a bit harsh, as he did star alongside the Gophers in multiple cartoons. He is also well spoken and has ambitions to become a Shakespearean actor, until he is tormented endlessly by the Gophers.
A horse! A horse! My kingdom for a horse!
Parting is such sweet sorrow.
Quite possibly their most well-known short is 1955's Lumberjerks, in which the duo try to reclaim their home, which is rudely cut down by loggers. On their journey through waterfalls and sawmills, they eventually reclaim their old home, which has now become furniture. Before we get to our last character, there are a few more I'd like to mention quickly, without going into too much detail, otherwise this video would end up being 30 minutes long.
This is the life. Beans is the name. One of the Boston beans.
I love you.
Now we reach the most famous, or should I say infamous character in this video. The French skunk known as Pepe Le Pew is a well-known character. However, due to his cartoons depicting sexual harassment in modern times, he has become largely wiped from modern Looney Tunes media. This stinky skunk would virtually always be pursuing a cat, who he believes to be a skunk. Despite the cat clearly not wanting any of this attention, he never gives up. No means no, Pepe.
Come back, darling. Golden Violet, I will unshy you. You are just insecure. All you need is a little occupational therapy, like making love.
Obviously these cartoons were made in different times, where this was seen as humorous. But nowadays it is uncomfortable to watch these Pepe Le Pew cartoons. However, I will admit, for sentimental reasons, is a masterpiece of its time. And ends up with Pepe getting his own treatment, as the cat falls for him and ends up chasing him. I haven't been able to discuss Pepe on here before, despite making several videos on Looney Tunes characters. Mostly because he doesn't really cross over with any other characters. His world is very separate to the rest. Who knows what the future holds for Pepe? Currently in Looney Tunes jail, will he ever appear again? Only time will tell.
I missed, fortunately for you.
So there we go. That was a list of the lesser known Looney Tunes characters. There is many more I could have included, so let me know which ones I may have missed. Who are some of your favourite unsung heroes or villains of the Looney Tunes? But for now, take care and leave me alone.